Alright, I wanted to make a quick daily recap video. I wanted to go over 2 morning trades that I made. That I made the most money on in the morning, put me up about $600 for the morning. Made lots of afternoon plays, but for this video, let's just focus on the morning. So FTFT was my best morning play. I got this from just taking a look at it yesterday. I noticed that it made a run into close. So ran from 95 cents to $1.10. I don't know exactly when I noticed it. It may have been from like these after hours prints, or it may have just been off the new high scanner. But it was near the end of the day, and I wouldn't take an entry on something like this. It was just, once I see this, I put it on my watch list for the next day. Just usually a good thing to do. They can continue. And I want to show a pattern that's been happening. You see this, it's just makes a downtrend. So I just bought the breakout of the downtrend. We've been seeing it happen quite a bit lately. They form on different scales. Everything forms a little differently, but you can clearly see makes a clean downtrend. I scooped 2,000 shares at 108. Get a nice pop. I had a sitting limit actually at 138. We didn't quite get there. We surged up to 135. Would have been nice to get that 138 fill, but it just didn't happen for me. And felt heavy, so instead of just holding, I decided just to cut it. So I got out at 125. It was a decent play. Almost $400 on that. Wasn't something I was going to try to hold for too long. If you look at the long-term chart, recently FTFT has been a pop and drop. What I mean by that is you'll get a quick pop, you'll get a drop, it won't hold its gains, it won't form higher lows, it won't form continuation, it just pops and drops, okay? And as long as it keeps doing that, I'm going to keep playing it like a pop and drop. I know in the past it's had major runs, but profile-wise, this is a China sector ticker. Hasn't been very hot lately. The entire sector hasn't been very hot as far as late 2017. These things actually were trend plays and were able to make major runs. We're just not seeing it lately from them. They pop up from time to time, but they're kind of just one and done. So that was my thesis on it. If you want to get really technical, I mean, I guess I could go through like my mindset. Step 1, you see the run into close. Step 2, pull up the long-term chart. So, I guess it broke out of this long-term downtrend. Then you get higher lows. Get a stair step. Get another stair step, right? So, again, it's that double stair step, just on a much different scale than what I normally show. But it's clear as day, It's like breaks out of that for the second stair, and could have went a lot higher, honestly. It could have, but I just did the best I could, and the momentum just didn't seem to be there. And sometimes you're willing to be patient, but that price action just doesn't really allow it. It just makes you lock in profits before maybe what you were hoping to get. So that's long story short. Yeah, just scalped it, made about 400. All right, let's go to LPCN. Oh yeah, and I do want to show this was my buy. 2,000 shares 108, 2,000 shares 125. Okay, LPCN, we got I was watching LPCN because it had some news in the morning, and it was a gapper. This one's 33 mil. Okay, so not low float. It's 33 mil float. I mean, it's relatively low float, sure, but mainly I was watching it because of this chart. I've been loving the gap downs lately, okay? These gap down plays, but they bottom out, they get a PR. It helps too that going into the PR, it was already making healthy consolidation. So the PR and the gap up was just like, oh, okay, now this is really good. You know, it was decent before. I've noticed it before, but I didn't really get that strong indication that, okay, I need to watch this very closely. The PR makes me go, okay, I need to watch it closely. And sure enough, had a really strong day. And this one will be on my watch for the next 2 or maybe 3 days. I think LPCN could be a repeat. The ticker that was just recently hot. Why can't I remember the name right now? TOCA. T-O-C-A. Okay? I think this may be a TOCA repeat. So, big watch tomorrow. My morning play was about 3,000 shares once I noticed support at 50 was getting stronger. So, bid support was getting stronger. I bought 3,000 shares into the ask. I got filled at, I believe, 51 or like 50.9. And then 51 broke out. And there was a big wall at 51.2. That started to get eaten through on the ask. And I added 3,000 shares. So I'm sure I can pull it up. Let me see. LPCN. Yep, just one single play on this. Got 6,000 shares. You can see 59, 51.2. And then I sold them all at 55. Now, this is where I beat myself up because I don't really like my sell. You know, I just went over how good long-term chart was and why I felt like it could have major upside. Not only that, I just said it's a 30 mil float. What do we know about larger floats? They take longer to find upside. Okay. I don't like how I played this. This was a bad sell. I sold it at 55. If I sell it at 58 and above, I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly okay with it. I think 55 is too soon. 58 and above is well done. 55, it doesn't cut it for me. It just doesn't. I think that, you know, on something that had peak upside at 68 in the morning, I want to make that clear. Morning upside was 68. Overall upside, really nice run, almost 78. So you don't see this very often. Now, what when I say you don't see this very often, right? What does that remind you of? I just said the same thing about TOCA. All right, this pulls back to the morning support, bottoms at that morning support, and rebounds and just rips. I mean, I wish I would have played it, but I didn't know it was going to do that. And to be honest with you, when plays wash this hard, they usually don't come back the way that this came back. So very surprising to me that LPCN has ended the day so strong. Volatility is nice on this for 30 mil float. I'm going to watch this for the next few days, see if we can get some good setups, maybe some continuation. Could become a multi-day runner, you know? So I like LPCN a lot. How much did I make on that? 51 to 55, 4 times 6. Okay, so I made $240 on LPCN. I mean, it was okay. It was alright. So you can see how if it gets over the second gap to fill, it could break out over this 90-cent area. Again, if we get that whole dollar breakout, that's also a nice area that people love buying. Psychologically, that whole dollar just feels good to buy that breakout. So I could see that making a nice run. And again, we'll just see how it develops. Nothing's a guarantee. Nothing will ever be a guarantee. But yeah, let's just see how it develops. And See if it sets up again. So yeah, I think I went over everything I wanted to. My 2 major morning plays. Alright, yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed breaking down why I bought this stuff and why I was watching it. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and think about subscribing. Really would appreciate it, and it does help the channel. Well, I'll see you on the next video.